usually outbound lead generation is not something that a person wants to do for the rest of their careers. So understanding the importance of a career development and professional development path and plan for the people is, I think, the most important thing that you can do to retain. People talk about retention, they talk about money and those sorts of things. Retention for that function is feeling progression and momentum in your business. And at Vorsight, in fact, our BDRs on an outsourced basis, we find our retention's higher, our duration's longer than those in the industry because of our career pathing. Now let me tell you a story of failure first, because it'll highlight this. When we first hired BDRs for Vorsight, we would put them in, say, basically, you're a BDR for 2 years. And at the end of the 2-year period, you can earn the right to apply for the sales training role, where you go and help clients out in a sales training and advisory consultant capacity. And what we found is, originally that worked fine when we weren't dealing with millennials. So we're talking like 10 years, or I should say 8 years ago. And that was okay and it worked fine. But what we found is somewhere around 2000, I'm gonna say it was like 7 or 8, all of a sudden this switch happened. And the millennials that were coming into work for us got too itchy. They got itchy feet. And two years to me doesn't seem like a long time, but I'm Gen X, I'm a little different, you know? It's sort of like I do my job for 2 years, then I get promoted. So what we did is we call them micro promotions, or they're sort of small promotions along a path. So you start as a business development associate, and you're on a certain comp plan and base salary. Then you move to something called an account manager. At that point, you're managing the relationships with the clients in addition to doing the calling work for them. And those people get a bump in not their base, but their comp. Then it goes up to something called a client development associate. Those people we call them they're the Navy SEALs of our company. They're the best of the best. And you can get there in 6 or 8 months if you're that good. Usually it takes people a year and a half, maybe even 2 to get to that role, client development associate. And then finally after that, you can graduate to a sales trainer consultant, where rather than doing the calling yourself, you're out there working with clients, teaching them how to do it. You're that capable that you can be an advisor to CEOs and VPs of sales and directors of outbound lead gen out there in the marketplace. So career path, my advice to you, especially with millennials, is you need these micro promotions. You need to have the criteria to be considered for those promotions to be extremely well defined and documented on a piece of paper. It's got to be like, in order for you to be able to do this, it's boom, boom, boom. And I would highly recommend you do not include a time frame, because otherwise they're going to go, wait, it says 6 months, but you're not ready to be an account manager yet. You haven't demonstrated you can manage accounts. I'm not going to give it to you yet, but it says 6 months. So you can have loose parameters for it, but make it be merit-based and merit-driven. So get that thing, and then once you have that career path mapped out, and I highly recommend you do that, the next step is you take that sucker and you put it on the wall, right in a public place, where you put all that nonsense for HR, like, you know, OSHA compliance and all that stuff that they make you put up, all that minimum wage, put it right there. Put it right there on the wall, and then everyone knows, here's exactly what I need to do. And then when they see one of the top performers get promoted and they go, well, why is Joe getting it and not me? You go, that's why. You don't have to say anything else. Career path, good stuff. You need career path, do it. Hi, I'm Steve Richard from Vorsight. I'm one of the co-founders of the business, and you can reach me at srichardv